So in the last video I said we were going to be going over input, but you can't do input without a different topic, which is variables. Variables are very important when it comes to C++, and without variables you can't do anything in any programming language really. So we're going to go over variables in this video. Sorry about the last video. If you were looking for input, which is going to be in the next video in the playlist. So nothing really to it. Just watch the next video. Watch the rest of the playlist, and you guys can learn C++ pretty fast again with these tutorials. So we're going to get straight to explaining all of these different types of variables. There's not that many, so just, don't feel too shaken by it if there is, a lot. Well, let's just get into it and you'll see. So for numbers, you're going to want, well, first of all, variables are where you store your information on a program. You store you store the information in a variable. Users can store their information in variables, but whatever it is has to be stored in a variable, because that's just how computer programs work. That being said, we're going to go over numbers before we do, or text before we do numbers. For text, there are a few different, if I miss any, I'm sorry, I won't miss any actually, so let's just go straight to it. The first one is string. And the string variable, again, you type string and you give it a name. So you can name it whatever you want. So let's just say the text base string, and then what you do is you put an equal sign. And with text, remember, you have to have double quotations around the text that you are using at all times. So what we're going to want to do is just put the double quotations and type welcome to the text base. And we're just going to use that semicolon again to end that line, and that's the end of that variable. So we're creating a string variable named whatever we want, but I chose mine to be the text-based string, and setting that equal to some string or some text, because we again can only store text in a string or text in a text variable. So there is strings that can store text, and there's also chars. So char stands for character. It stores one character from the alphabet, obviously. It has various uses. You can give it whatever name you want. Again, you set it equal to a letter, one single letter, because that's what type of variable it is, and you put the semicolon to end it. But in the char, you use single quotes, and that'll be basically the only time you have to use single quotes is when you're declaring a char variable or a character variable. So you're going to want to put whatever variable name or whatever character you want, and stored into that variable. In this case, it's called f, and that's it. So you put the semicolon, and that is the string and the char variables which store text on C++. Next, we're going to go over the number variables, and I'm going to try to knock these out fairly quick, because now that you get these types of variables, as long as you get that this is the variable type, the first thing you type, you don't use a capital letter, use lowercase, it's all type, or use lowercase, and then you type in the name of the variable, you set it equal to whatever that variable is. Again, if it's text, you set it equal to text, and if it is a number, you set it equal to a number, depending on what type of variable the number variable it is. So for number variables, we have integers, which store numbers. Obviously, if you know what an integer is, from -3 or negative infinity to positive infinity, but you can only have whole numbers, so like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Those are integers. So we can set an integer equal to, or give it the name, the text-based integer, and set it equal to 50. Now with integers, we don't use quotes because, again, you only use quotes around the text. So next we have something called a float, which stores decimals. So an integer can't store a decimal, but it can store an integer. So to store decimals, you're going to have to use a thing called a float. And, you're going to set that equal to 3.14. And then there's also something called a double. Now, a double also stores decimals, and these are basically the main variables that you will use. So I know you're probably thinking, how do you store information if you're a person on the program, if the information is already being pre-declared in the variable? So if I'm storing something in the variable, how does the user store something there too? Now, what we're going to do for that is leave the variable empty. So let's just say integer g, and then we'll say that's it. And we can also do float b, and that's it as well. Now, what we'll do in the next tutorial is go over how to get users to store information into these variables, and then getting them to store something, and then outputting it back to them to make sure that we got the information. So we'll go over that in the next tutorial, and I'll see you guys there. Wait, before I go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great tech videos. I have tons of videos coming out in 2018 on computer science, just everything, so just be sure to subscribe. Again, I have tons of great videos for everybody, whether you continue this course or not. There are tons and tons of videos. So I'll see you guys next time.